They lost. So you travel there. It's nice looking thing. That's for that.
They're going for it. Shall we? I didn't get my
Well.
It's 7:30. We're gonna call this meeting to order. You'll please rise to the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome, everybody. For all the little ones in the house, please make as much noise as you want. We're gonna make motions so you guys get your stuff done pretty quickly. We like hearing all the enthusiasm. So if I could have a roll call, please. Trustee McGuire. Here. Trustee Hawk.
Here.
Trustee Pinelli.
Here.
Trustee Diatley.
Here.
Trustee Schatzberger. Here. Trustee Thomas.
Here.
Oh, hi, everybody. All right, and then we'll move on to the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from September? I forgot the date.
15th.
September 15th.
So moved Diatley.
Second, Thomas.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thomas. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Thank you. We're gonna move on to the president report. I will do the civility pledge. Okay, I will do the civility pledge today. In the interest of civility, I pledge to promote civility by listening, being respectful of others, acknowledging that we are all striving to support and improve our community, and understanding that each may have different ideas for achieving that objective.
President Bowe, I'd like to amend the agenda to move items 12D1 and 12D2 up to the present time.
Okay, 142. Do I have a second?
I'll
Second.
Seconded by McGuire. To move by Daly, seconded by McGuire to move the discussion and motion for approving the hiring of Officer Kozlowski and Officer Peace. She's so excited. Up to the current moments. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor, no opposed, motion passes.
At this time, I'd like to make a motion to offer employment to Officer Bart Kozlowski and Jeremy Peace at a starting salary of $60,997.91 to be patrol officers in the village of Sleepy Hollow.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved by Diatley, seconded by Thomas. Any comments, questions, discussion? This is for the motion to approve the hiring of, I'm sorry, you said both officers?
Yes.
Officer Kozlowski and Officer Peace. Roll call vote, please. Trustee Pinelli.
Aye.
Trustee Schatzberger.
Aye.
Trustee Hawk.
Aye.
Trustee McGuire.
Aye.
Trustee Thomas.
Aye.
Trustee Diatley.
Aye.
All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Gentlemen, now to be Officer Kozlowski and Officer Peace, if you'll step up, Clerk Ree will issue your oaths. Officer Kozlowski?
Ma'am.
Okay. I'll give you one of these, so you can know what you're saying. If you'll raise your right hand, repeat after me.
Oh.
Nope, you're Jeremy.
I'm Bart.
Bart. Sorry about that. Okay. I, Bart Kozlowski,
I, Bart Kozlowski,
having been duly appointed to the position of patrol officer
have been duly appointed to the position of patrol officer
in the village of Sleepy Hollow,
in the village of Sleepy Hollow,
King County, Illinois,
Kane County, Illinois.
do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United
the
States, the
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of Sleepy Hollow.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of patrol officer to the best of my ability.
of patrol officer to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Then the other one you can keep for your record.
Welcome aboard. Get two. You get two stars. That works. Yeah.
Nonsense. I'll raise your right hand. I, Jeremy Peace,
I, Gary Beef,
having been duly appointed to the position of patrol officer
duly appointed to the position of patrol officer
in the village of Sleepy Hollow,
in the village of Sleepy Hollow,
Kane County, Illinois,
King County, Illinois.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution
of
of
the United States,
the United
the
States,
Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Sleepy Hollow,
ordinance of Sleepy Hollow.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of patrol officer to the best of my
of
ability.
patrol officer to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Welcome.
Welcome aboard. Thank you, sir.
By the way, our badge is the coolest badge out there. It's actually. Little fact, the guy who designed our badge has only designed 2 badges in the entire country.
There you
And ours
go.
is the same, so.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Trustee Hall?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda as well to move up under new business 14E. To the present time,
All right,
discussion and motion to approve finance committee member appointment of Barry Sanders and Joseph Zelkos on board approval.
moved by Hall, seconded by Diatley to move the discussion and motion to approve the finance committee members' appointments from 14E to the current time. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Bill Zazokos and Barry Sanders, if you'll step on down. Come on down. I didn't get handshakes before.
Hey, Courtney, how are you?
Nice. Here you go. Barry?
Yes.
Okay, there's one for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do one, each one separately.
Okay.
Okay, I, Barry Sanders,
I, Barry Sanders,
having been duly appointed to the position of finance committee member
we appointed to the position of finance committee member,
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois,
Village of Sleepy Hollow, King County, Illinois.
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances of the Village of Sleepy Hollow.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the finance committee to the best of my ability.
And that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the finance committee. Best of my ability.
Congratulations. And then when you guys are both sworn in, I'll get a picture of the two of you also. All right, Bill, let's go to yours. Raise your right hand, please. I, Bill Zazokos. Sorry if I said that.
You said it better than I did.
Appointed to the position of finance committee member
Having duly been appointed to the position of finance committee member
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, Kane County, Illinois.
in the village of Sleepy Hollow, King County, Illinois.
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
Solemnly swear that the Constitution of the United States,
this Constitution of the state of Illinois,
the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the village of Sleepy Hollow,
and the ordinances village of Sleepy Hollow.
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the finance committee to the best of my ability.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of finance committee to the best of my ability.
Congratulations. Then I will get a picture of the two of you over here.
I will just say, I know these gentlemen personally, 2 great individuals.
Thank you. Thank you, Val. I ju- I just. I just realized that we actually have not gone through the appointment and the vote by the board to approve the appointments, but we've just issued the oath. Yes. So.
It's too late.
I know. So in my president's report, I'm just gonna get started with it. I understand there's a Cubs game on tonight. People have had medical work today. It's been a long week, so we will try to move this along, but it has been 3 weeks between meetings. And a lot has happened, so I have scripted out my president's report tonight, so I should keep it pretty straightforward. First, I just point out that, these wonderful residents, Barry Sanders and Bill Vizokos, have confirmed and offered to volunteer for the finance committee. And with that, we will have 4 members on the finance committee. We'll have Don Ziemba, Catherine, I always forget her last name, I'm so sorry. Thank you. And now Bill and Barry and Bill, trustee Hoff is looking forward to getting those meetings set up so you guys can, solve all of our stuff. Thank you, no pressure. And actually, on that note, may I get a motion? No, we need to do that. We moved it up from our, yes, can I get a motion to approve the appointment of Barry Sanders and Bill Zizokos for the finance committee?
So second.
Moved by Schatzberger, seconded by McGuire. Any comments, questions, or discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Excellent. So gentlemen, we'll issue that oath later for you. Thank you, guys. All right, so good evening. It is a pleasure to be back here. We did have an extra week off between meetings and a lot has transpired, a lot of events around our neighborhood, surrounding neighborhoods, a lot of educational experiences for ourselves as the board. And I just want to update you on that. So, back about the weekend right after our last meeting, so mid-September, I think it was the 20th, West Dundee Fire had their open house. I happened to be driving by and got a chance to pop in. I saw a live fire demonstration, and which I've never seen before. I would just like to remind everybody as we're going into the colder months and we're going to start using our fireplaces, please get them checked out. Make sure there aren't any critters in there. Make sure it's safe. We have some great people in town. We've got great individuals outside of town, former firefighters who will make those inspections for you. Please, we've had too many fires in the village already in the past year. Let's check your smoke detectors and make sure everything's square. Then also that same day, I stopped by Damos Barbecue on Route 72. They have been selling out like hotcakes, except it was barbecue. I was so proud of them and they were just having a wonderful time. They had a lull right then, so I got to meet their smokers. There's 3 smokers. If you ever want a chance to learn more about what they do, it's fun to hear Dan talk about his craft. That also was the same day as this Friends of the Fox River, but it's our Fox River Day. It's an annual event that they try to celebrate the Fox River along the whole 202 miles of it from Wisconsin to Ottawa. And I got to go to 2 events. One of our very own Sleepy Hollow residents, Karen Flowers, she's also Friends of the Fox staff. And she organized a cleanup down by the old Carpenter Dam. And she worked with Home Depot, who contributed $2,500 worth of materials for that cleanup and future ones that she'd also like to, trustee Hoff, touch base with Karen Flowers. That's stuff we might be able to use with our cleanups along Sleepy Hollow Road, and trustee Schatzberger. And that was at the old Carpenter Dam. And then I also went to the Elgin History Museum, which has a great exhibit on the Fox River. And that was really interesting because it's right on the old Elgin Academy campus. And for some of you who don't know, I was born in Michigan, but between Michigan and arriving here in Sleepy Hollow when I was 4 years old, I lived in Saudi Arabia for 1.5 years. And so it was really interesting coming out of the Elgin History Museum and then here in the afternoon call of prayer for the Baran Academy, which now occupies the Elgin Academy. So it was nice to hear something different in our community, and I just welcome others to engage curiosity, find out some more, and explore what all that our neighboring communities have to offer. And then also around then we had the Metro West raffle basket where we had all the best of Sleepy Hollow vendors from the Market in the Hollow contribute. It was a huge basket. Thank you so much to all of the vendors. And it was won by the vice president of Horner Schriffen, an engineering company, and he was very excited to get it. He saw a lot of the prizes and there could be great little gifts for his family and grandkids on this upcoming holiday season. Rutland Dundee Fire District had their open house just this past weekend. That was amazing to see. Tons of people showed up. Thank you, everybody who came out. It was the first open house in 15 years. Chief Reedy was very excited. I learned we have a DJ on staff in the fire department, and he was having a blast that day, keeping everybody entertained. I, of course, ran into the Fuqua family because what event is there without a Fuqua family there? They did a great Jaws of Life vehicle extrication demonstration and a helicopter landing. Real quick PSA, folks, if you are looking to donate your cars, the officer or the firefighter over there asked the audience, said, please consider donating it to the local firehouse. Personal story, my mother donated our Saab back in the 90s when it was one of the really impenetrable cars to our Sleepy Hollow Fire Department to work on for Jaws of Life. And then come full circle, when my brother had his horrific car accident on Joy Lane 15 years ago, they used the Jaws of Life to get him out of the car, and he is still with us today because of those capabilities. So keep the fire department in your mind of finding out however you might be able to help them. Also, wrapping up the weekend, we had the Northern Kane County Chamber of Commerce Awards Dinner. Thank you, Trustee Hoff, for bringing that to my attention. We had a great night celebrating Christine Fuqua, who's in the audience back there, but she's had a lot of attention, so maybe don't look too much. We just want to thank her very much for all of her efforts with Market in the Hollow, the fast turnaround, and just she's at all of the events supporting people, encouraging people, and getting the work done. So thank you. You lead by example, and we appreciate you. Also, Trustee Hoff. Not only is he our finance trustee and our economic development liaison, but he is our representative with the Kane County Chamber of Commerce, and he's been working diligently with them for a few years. He was running himself ragged this past week, helping Melissa Hernandez with setting it up and the others, and it was a great event, and you did a wonderful job hosting your game. If we need entertainment at future events, we have a good MC down there. You can host like the best of them. All right. Next thing. Trustee Schatzberger and I had a great tour with Metro West. They had a tour set up with LRS. It's a local recycling company that just changed their contract just started a contract, I think, with Elgin. Yes. And us surrounding areas. We're currently with Groot, but what was incredible with it was just getting to see the facilities. I won't give you too many details. I'll just like to say that for Trustee Schatzberger, but I just would like to point out that these kinds of field trips and educational experiences are incredibly insightful. They help us better understand the infrastructure that's available, kind of gave us a moment to reassess our own needs here in the village and what can we do better and what do we want to look at when we go see Groot and maybe hopefully get a tour and learn more from them. So that was a lot of the fun stuff. We also, so more of the business aspects, Administrator Van and I met with George, the Carpentersville building inspector last week, just to go over some of the details from the intergovernmental agreement. Barb Detmer's last day as building official was this past Friday. As of today, we are now utilizing the village of Carpentersville for all permit and inspection requests. Those can be submitted online. They're, do we have the instructions up online? Oh, yeah, okay. There's a permit application online that you can submit, and then Eugene will forward it to Carpentersville, and we had our first request for an application just today. So please ask questions. It's a new process. If there's some issues, please let us know, and we will work on that. We appreciate your feedback and your patience with this. Pleased to announce we have 2 appointments to the Finance Committee. Took care of that one. Also tonight, my apologies, we don't have any kind of a memo for this. This came up last minute, but as I was visiting Maggie and Dan Orlando at Damos Barbecue on Friday, getting their donations for the Kane County Chamber Awards Dinner, they indicated, well, every day I've driven by, they've sold out before their closing time, which I think is fantastic. That's exactly the kind of thing we wanted to help them with. And thank you, Trustee McGuire. She's the one that got it to my attention and stressed the urgency. And then the board, we all got it through, and the Orlandos are very grateful for that. The license goes through the end of this month or beginning of November, but they have already had requests for food for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. So that prompted the request of, could we extend the licensing applications up to and including December 31st. That's when their other licensing would end and it would coincide. So if we need to table it for further discussion and more contemplation, we can do it to the next meeting, but I just want to put that in on your minds.
It's literally business.
It is, yes. Yeah, I just hadn't spoken to that all that, thankfully. And now we're coming up to the end. All right, so upcoming items, burn pile reminder, folks, it opened on October 1st. It'll be open through the 24th. Please go and contribute your logs, branches, what have you, to the pile. So we have a great bonfire this year. Village burning is allowed in the village, but it is only allowed on the second and the fourth weekends of the month. That literally means no work day burning, please. I drove by a few times on Tuesdays and Thursdays, saw stuff, came back a few minutes later. Fortunately, the fire was out, put away. So there was no reprimands at that point, but guys, we all know this. It's posted on signs, second and fourth weekends of the month. We have people with health issues. It's a good way for them to be able to just close up, stay indoors. They appreciate it. It's neighborly. Please follow the rules. Also, only yard natural materials. No oils, no hazardous wastes, no cushions from your lawn furniture that you don't like. I saw one of those sticking out. They smell awful. It's a mess. It's just your yard materials, please. And we will be working on cleaning up that ordinance so it's more enforceable, and we will be following up on that with everybody. And then MetroNet construction. Yes, we are excited for MetroNet to start their construction. A lot of people just started getting notices in the last week or two in the mail for the first area that's going to be affected. I'll ask engineer Steele to address that area later in his report. We will get some more information up on the village website and Facebook as to what you can expect. But one of the big compliments of MetroNet has been their ability to come in. It's in the back easement of most everybody's property. It's most likely not your front yards. There may be a handful, I think.
Yeah.
But generally it's the backyards, back easements, and their turnover for restoration is 24 to 48 hours generally. And it's a small area. Yes, maybe if there's rain, it's going to tear some things up, but please, little patience, little graciousness, and let us know if there's anything we can do to help everybody get through this. That way we can have fiber optics and more options. And then Halloween is October 25th, the Halloween in the Hollow. I'm looking forward to that with the bonfire. There's going to be vendors again, costume contests, monster downhill dash. The service club will keep us apprised of that as we get closer. And then tonight we will vote on the hours for trick or treating. Thank you, everybody, for your continued support, board members, everybody who attends, all of the residents I've run into. It's been really great getting out to all these events, meeting everybody and seeing a lot more participation and engagement. I can't get over how many people will come up and make a comment about a meeting, and it's not necessarily positive or negative, but what takes me back is that they're paying attention and everybody's engaging and they're listening to what's going on and the choices we're making. And I'm really proud of the board, and thank you very much, everybody, for engaging everybody. All right. So from there, we are going to move on to clerk reports. No report. There's no planning and zoning commission report. We will get a building official, but at the moment we are in between. So attorney report.
Just briefly, I see in the minutes that the variance request was approved at the last meeting, and I will prepare and submit to you an ordinance that will approve that variance for action at your next meeting.
Thank you. Jeff Steele, engineer Steele.
A couple items is the street program is 99% done. The only thing left is the shoulder stone along Willow, Saddle Club entrance, and portions of Sycamore, just basically the Highland area. Secondly is, as Courtney mentioned, is the MetroNet permit is just give you a brief overview, is they have it sectioned out into 3 sections of the village. Basically the southwest corner or southeast corner, northeast corner, and then basically the west side of town the permit has been approved for the southeast corner. As Courtney mentioned, is a lot of the work is being done in utility easements and rear yards. There's a couple areas where it goes along the front yards. If anybody needs to see the locations, I can be more than happy to display that information. They also currently have the permit in for the northeast corner, which basically is from Willow up north up to Route 72 over to Sleepy Hollow Road. And then after that, then they'll submit the application for the west side of town.
Thank you. Um. Eugene, Director of Finance Report.
Request approval of the accounts payable in the amount of $226,753.27.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Moved by Schatzberger, seconded by Thomas. Any comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee McGuire,
Aye.
trustee Hawk,
Aye.
trustee Connelly,
Aye.
trustee Schatzberger, trustee Thomas.
Aye. All in favor, no opposed, motion passes.
I received the first draft of the audit report. At this time, we've got a clean report. I'm hoping to schedule them to do their presentation on November 3rd meeting. That's it.
Thank you. Comments from the public, thank you. All right, we're at comments from the public, Mr. Vernon.
Good evening. The door is open or door is closed. Problem is solved or it's not. The proposed text amendment that's in front of the board this evening for discussion and vote. It does not solve the problem. There's a recurring problem. I say it's recurring because we've had the drama twice in the last 3 years. I still take exception to not including self-storage in the list of prohibited uses in our code. It's been represented by a former court official and the president, based on conversation with the village attorney, that the current language in section 814B, specifically, all uses not expressly permitted in this title shall be prohibited, is adequate, and adding self-storage units to the list of prohibited uses would hamper future administrations if they wish to bring it back. I again point out that the reference code language is taken out of context. Take the rest of the paragraph, which has not been quoted, starting with shall be prohibited, subject to recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission. That language provides qualification to the unlisted prohibitions. That leaves it wide open for another application to be submitted. I looked into the matter a bit further, and it appears that we have prohibited financial institutions, gasoline service stations, auto repair, and car washes in the B2 since 1989. I took a look up on some of the meeting minutes, and this is as much as I could find. I fail to see how having self-storage units included in specifically prohibited uses would impede or impair possible changes by a future administration. I remind the board that over a third of the households in the village expressed opposition to the self-storage units during the last special use application process. So I'm again asking the board deny the proposed amendment and have it returned for revision to include self-storage units to the list of specifically prohibited uses in the B2 district. I was going to touch a little bit, just a minute, on committees. I'm glad to see we got a couple more members out here. I see we'll get some things kicked off. I hope we get to see the other committees get kicked off pretty soon. There will be a refreshing change.
Thank you. You don't have my notebook. All right, trustee reports, trustee Connelly with roads, parks and streets.
So as Jeff mentioned, the street program is almost done. There was just one question that a resident brought to my attention regarding some of the, some of the equipment was moved. There are various clumps of asphalt in spots.
Yeah, I think
Is
I
that-
know the location of where it is.
Can that be removed?
Yeah,
Is it as easy as a
Yeah,
hole and
exactly.
popping it loose?
that's all I gotta do.
Right off, there you go. Okay. We're gonna talk about rock salt at a future meeting, and our director of public works is on his honeymoon. Kyle is got married Saturday, so that's all that I have for you.
Director Killinger, if you're watching this, go back to your honeymoon. And actually, if I could add on there, I forgot to put that in the president's report. For many of you who know Kyle, he grew up here also. I remember, he's 10 years younger than I remember him as that annoying little brother of some friends who I used to play with growing up. And then I'm working with him now. We will have I'm gonna have a bunch of cards set up at the main desk with Sharon and whomever. If you'd like to come in and congratulate him or express your well wishes to the happy couple, I think that would be really nice coming from the village and the residents. So I'll have a handful of cards up there. If you want to bring in your own, please do. And then they'll be back in about 2 weeks, I think. You will, so. Next report, finance, trustee Hoff.
No official report tonight.
Thank you. And trustee McGuire, water and sewer, no report. Thank you. Trustee Diatley, police and public safety.
Just quickly, it was great to bring on 2 new officers tonight. It's very rewarding for myself and I know for Chief as well. When we find these folks, I just want to take the time to thank Chief. Hiring a police officer is a lot more involved than hiring anybody else. I can tell you that. And the time and the effort that goes into that is I look highly upon it and thank you for your work to it because it's a very detailed process. It's not only background checks, there's all kinds of other checks that they do as well. So it's a lot of work and thank you, Chief. I appreciate it.
I've got a great staff. They jump in each, when I ask a lot of them and they jump in with 2 feet, so.
That's all I have. Do you have anything, Chief?
No, just the mass notification system. That contract has been signed. We're still waiting to work out the details in terms of, how it's gonna roll out, controls and things like that. So that should be coming very soon. It should be a good thing for the village. Yeah, that's about it for now.
Can you elaborate a little bit more about that, how it's gonna work?
So residents will be able to opt in various ways. You can opt in on your phone, you can opt in on email, you can choose what type of notifications you want to get. It'll be open basically to all of the residents in each town will have control over the messages that get sent out. So you won't get, Sleepy Hollow residents won't get something for Harpersville or East Indy or West Indy unless there's an event that could affect our residents. But it's going to be a good thing for all of us because if we've got a road closure or we've got a weather event or, especially for us, if we're working a fatal crash, as an example, we're going to be shutting a road down for 4, 5, 6 hours to be able to push that information out to the residents. Water main breaks, I know that's been said of Kyle having to go and hang things on doors individually, which he may still have to do. But at least we can get that information out to the residents and it's a much other way of communicating with the residents.
Thank you. Steve, what do you think the majority of people will want? Or how will they want to be communicated? Via text?
Most likely, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the way
Unless you
things, yeah, that's the way things are going, but there's some people that, prefer to be sent an email. You can pick both, you can pick one or the other, so there's a lot of flexibility with it. You can also pick, like I said, what type of messages you want to get. So it's gonna be something, and cost-wise, there will be no additional cost to the residents.
How are we going to communicate to the people of the village that they need to sign this?
Well, I'll get together with Eugene and we'll get information out, whether it's doing, I think we probably are gonna need to do some type of a mailing, whether it's a card or something like that, but we'll work on that.
All right, great.
Thank you. All right, Bill, nothing else to review?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. And I will echo trustee Diatley's sentiments. Every time I stop in and visit with the chief, he'd have different piles around his desk or on his chair. He's like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep considering this. This is and just different categories. And so it was methodical. It was a long time and it's frustrating with some of the current circumstances. So thank you for that. Also, I love that we have an officer piece. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Who's a peace officer?
Officer piece, yes. All right, so buildings and environment, trustee Schatzberg.
First, I would just wanted to go. If you guys will look at the pictures, I had gone to the resident that was having the drainage issue. Along with Jeff Steele and Kelly Thomas, and we went and met with the resident, kind of looked over what the issues were. you can see where the flow used to go at one point. So if you look at the page with the pile of wood and all of the debris. Eugene had suggested if we could kind of clean that up, it, may help with starting to get the natural flow going back. So,
Can I back up for just a second?
Yeah.
For the rest, so this is up on Hilltop Lane.
yes,
This is right at the beginning of a greenway that naturally is a drainage area. And two houses are right next to each other, and part of the drainage of one house is kind of going back into their yard instead of going towards the greenway where it can then make its way down the hill as drainage. So Kelly,
yeah, so if you look at the first page, you can see around the tree. The water used to flow naturally, but the people, the yards are kind of built up now from how they used to be. So we're gonna have Kyle go out and take a look as well and see if he can go through with the excavator and kind of,
do a little regrading.
yes,
On public land or on private land?
it's,
The easement.
it's the easement. So we did go out and we cleaned up a lot of the brush that was there, moved the logs, took some of that to the burn pile. I lined up my woodland garden with some of it. The big issue that I still have are the trees that are growing up along those utility boxes. So once Kyle gets back, I'll talk with him, see if that's something he feels he can tackle. Hopefully he can. I've got a call into comment, haven't heard back. One of these boxes, I believe, is AT&T, so I'm gonna try to reach out to them.
Is it AT&T and Common?
Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
Comcast, yeah.
Okay.
Hey,
So,
Rhonda, on your third picture, there's a catch basin there.
Yeah, can I have the shadows?
yeah, see
Yeah, right below the
the
headshot.
drainage?
Do we know if that still works?
You said
It
it was
is.
clogged.
It is full of
Of-
debris.
Yeah.
And my guess is that normally when they do that type of yard drain is it's just a little 4-inch plastic pipe that is, we call it elephant trunk, which is basically a very thin walled pipe. So my guess is even if that was opened up, it's probably collapsed further down the line.
Do you know where it ends?
You
figured it
right
out?
in the village utility, or village easement, the greenway space that's right to the, it'd be. Trying to do my bearings to the west of that is there's a large drainage ditch that runs basically along those properties, which where everything's supposed to be draining along those root lots.
Well, I'm just asking because that's my property in the background there. And I've never seen where that comes out.
Yeah,
If there is a pipe.
I tried finding it, but no avail.
Yeah.
So my guess is it's just, just over the
I didn't
years,
realize that
it's-
thing was even there around that catch basin.
Yeah, we didn't
So-
realize it
either.
until we started walking that property,
Okay,
so.
Well, that's.
So, ideally, what we'd like to do is, I mean, you can see. Where the logs were moved, where the drain. Where the water used to drain or used to flow. We're hoping to go between. Where the, that healthy tree is. Once we remove, we're calling this the little island, and we can get rid of, if we can get rid of that clump of trees that are growing into the utility boxes and get the water flowing behind the bushes so that it flows into the swale where we normally get water when we get the heavy rains.
have you talked to,
I've talked to the homeowner, I've talked to both homeowners,
and she's okay with recontouring it?
as long as it's not part of her property. So,
That's gonna be yours then.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
All righty, that's what needs to be done.
so once Kyle gets back, I will talk with him and see what our next steps will be, to get the rest of that stuff taken care of, removed.
Thank you for following up with them. I know Kelly has been talking about them for Definitely a trust, so
A few years.
yeah.
It's been going on for, well,
He said it's been going on.
10 years, but a few years that I. have
That we've been on,
involved.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then lastly, the field trip to LRS was, it was very educational. A lot of myths put to rest for me for
Yeah.
recycling, and just seeing the process was incredible. Never knew that when you're throwing your plastic bottles away, you're supposed to put the caps back on them before you put them in the recycle bin. Glass jars, put the lids back on. It doesn't have to be completely cleaned out, but they do prefer it be rinsed a little bit. But the process was just incredible, the way that they have the different conveyor systems. They have the cardboard going through one process, the plastics going through another line, glass through a third line. And then they have this last chance line where they have a robot that's actually going through and tries to be the best that it can to pull out the rest of the recycling that is missed as they're going through the conveyor belts being pulled by the workers. So the bad thing is, a lot of garbage ends up on those conveyor belts, so they have to sit there and physically sort through and pull the garbage out from recyclable materials. So it was incredible.
Where was this again, Rhonda? In the
It's,
city?
yeah, in the city, Lakeshore Recycling Systems, LRS, Elgin just hired them for their garbage disposal and recycling program. And I'm gonna reach out to Brute and see, because they said they kind of all work together. And I want to reach out to Groot and see if there's possibility to go and tour their facility as well. And see what the differences are. And then I'd like to look into comparing what the costs would be comparably using Groot or LRS. Since they are starting to come out this way a little bit. But it was quite educational. I enjoyed it a lot.
It was a large facility. A lot of it was automated, and then also like optical observations, so picking out your cardboard, your plastic, your metal, or it had to do with magnetism, or it was air dispense, so if it was lighter items. So it was interesting to see the tactics that they used in order to sort, and then how cardboard would float over top on a certain tread, and then the other items would fall below it. And that's why they really request that you always have your lids on everything, because they'll fall through the sorting items. Whereas if you put them on, there's a process for it and they catch them, and it's actually safer for the handful of actual employees who are there. And yeah, you don't need to clean everything. No, our recycling is not just going to a garbage heap. It gets sorted in many different ways. It's disappointing that styrofoam is such a poor one to recycle. It takes so much work on their part and for such a lightweight item, and it doesn't have a good cost return, that there's less of an incentive for them to figure out a way to recycle styrofoam. But
And everything that
Yeah.
they receive is bought by another company.
80%.
Yeah. But before they can send it off to the other companies, they have to have it in tons. So then they put it through a baler, and then once they have that tonnage, they sort it between the plastics, cardboard, glass, cans, and then they're shipped off to different companies that then recycle the recycled or remanufacture the
paper mills to reuse the paper, glass to be reused, and they're local, like a lot of regional Midwest stuff, which was cool to see that they're not traveling far either. So yeah, lots of little things that you just don't think of. And this guy was like a lifer in the refuse community or area. His whole family has
If
been.
I'm aging myself, does anybody remember Roy Strom garbage? Okay, well,
We're all gonna look now.
so George Strom is the grandson of Roy Strom. Where I grew up, that was the company that picked up our garbage. That was George. Yeah. So now George's family sold Roy Strom to LRS, and now George works for LRS. But I did bring a report if anybody wants to look at the report and see what facility is all about. I'll put it in the conference room and share.
And we'll get some pictures and videos up on Facebook so you guys can see it. I have the conveyor belts going, it's fine.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. That's all I have.
Did you want to talk about Oktoberfest and the upcoming
sure.
work date?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's
Thank you.
fine.
I do have that on here. So, first cleanup date is going to be Sunday, October 12th. I have just a small handful of friends coming to help out. Anybody else wants to come, reach out to me. Right now, what we're going to do is mark the invasive species and try to, the invasives are gonna get marked with a spray paint on the trunk. If we can find any, if we are also going to try to see if there are any oaks out there, so that we can mark where those need to be cleared. Anybody that has the volunteer oaks that they are growing in their yards, if you can reach out to me. We are going to start figuring out a nursery where we can put them until we can find a place to plant them within the village. So I have had 2 residents reach out to me that have some. I have a couple in my yard. So
And if you have a space in your yard that needs an oak tree, let us know, because this isn't just for Sleepy Hollow Village property, it's to help you guys replenish your canopy as well.
yeah. And then the dates where we're gonna have actual volunteers coming out to help will be October 18th. And then November 1st, 8th, and 16th. The 16th of November, I do have a scout troop coming out to help us as well. But anybody that wants to come and help, we need people that have, or if you want to even volunteer to loan us your lopper tools, shears, gloves, we'd be willing to take good care of them till we can get them back to you after our programs are done here. And then hopefully we'll be able to start seeing those oaks growing in place of these invasives that are taking over.
From 9 to 12, Rhonda?
We're gonna do it from 8 to 12.
And there was also the program on Sunday. Oaks, do you want to share on that?
I'm going with the Friends of the Fox to a program over at Leroy Oaks to learn a little bit more about the importance of oaks and nurturing them back and helping to get sustainability for them.
It actually won't be at Leroy Oaks, it's just gonna be right down the street at Schweitzer Environmental Center. 12:30.
Sorry.
It's okay, 12:30 on Sunday, and it's the importance of oaks. Some oak trees are now facing some problems from other environmental components, and then and also how much they support the ecosystem, so, yeah. All right, anything else?
No, that's it.
Thank you. Trustee Thomas with Building and Zoning.
The only thing is I'll be meeting with yourself and Eugene regarding the planning and zoning. For your, what are you calling it?
The new inspection and permit process.
Yes, regarding that new process.
All right,
What's the process?
The permitting process
Oh.
and the whole process, the whole thing.
all right, hearing nothing else from the trustee reports, we'll move on to old business. Item A, continued discussion and motion to accept the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation from the September 8th meeting, public hearing to amend the provisions governing the B2 Village Business District to delete self-service storage units as a special use currently included in section 8513C of the Village Code, together with deleting from section 815 of the Village Code a definition of the term self-service storage units. This was tabled at the last meeting for further discussion and time to contemplate, so did you have who was the original?
It would be me.
Okay.
I have a question, regarding the costs.
If
it's on the agenda, it's not necessarily.
Right.
So there would be, if we decided to remove or wanted to remove it, there would be a cost because we'd have to have a public hearing to remove it, or how is that?
So, okay, currently what's going on is what we're discussing right now is simply deleting the text deletion of the term self-service storage unit under the section where it has special uses that are permitted. Right now, the only thing before you is to delete that and then delete the definition of it earlier in section 8. What also has been proposed in the meantime from Mr. Vernon and discussed amongst some of us is also taking it as an additional step and adding in self-service storage units as an expressly prohibited use within there. To do that, we would require another public hearing. And yes, that would be, and actually I have this written down for you guys. If we choose to do that, we would be responsible for those fees and the legal and administrative costs. Ballpark figure that we've usually kind of tossed out for public hearings is around $1,500. If instead we simply vote on deleting it as the motion stands, anybody who came forward requesting to put in a self-service storage unit or to get it as a special use, the cost of that hearing would actually go on them. So that's part of the components of what we're considering with respect to costs. And
And that would have to go to the planning and zoning committee.
the developer requesting to do self-service.
Would they,
Yes, they would have to petition the commission asking to approve self-service storage units as a special use. Then once that gets permitted, then they come forward with their development and their plan.
if it
Exactly,
gets permitted.
yes. But the process would be then the next up, then they come in for their other public or their presentation and hearing for what they propose to do. So there's 2 stages of approval. Admittedly, I understand from the residents that this is a faith-based exercise right now, because in the past 2 times, as Mr. Vernon indicated, there was results that the people weren't happy with. My take on it is let's consider who all is on the board now, who all has participated in the votes, not the votes. I'm gonna stop the discussions for you guys, sorry. So yes, there's a cost element to it. There is our history element to it, and I leave the discussion back to you guys. Actually, I'll pick it back up. The other reminder is the low impact, which was brought up by trustee Kennelly, and then also some of the new commissioners on the P and Z commission, in that because of some of the limitations, just because of our current limitations on capacity for sewer, yes, we could approach West Dundee for changing that, but right now where we're at, storage unit would be a low impact, and that is something that some of the P and Z commissioners found appealing as to keeping it as an option. And I think trustee Kennelly, you raised that as something at the last meeting, am I correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
So since then, I met with Mr. Vernon, and I also, I understand where he's coming from. I also met with, 2 of the neighbors that border the property. And I certainly understand how their world changed as a result of everything that's taken place there. A lot of it is the vindictiveness of the owner of that property that has caused the issue. I'm sorry, Pete, but my position hasn't changed. I'm still opposed to telling the village, or saying that the village is gonna put something in that prohibits something such as self-storage units going there again. And the reason I would do that is because I don't know why we should, from a village standpoint, and I represent both village as well as residents, why we should build that wall, if you will, that says we won't accept anybody coming in and bringing forth a proposal. So I would still be against it. Also, talking to those residents, what I walked away from those discussions with was, and again, this is all after the fact, but they felt that if the berm, now that they recognize it is a low impact and that property has restrictions, they felt that if the berm was saved, and if the 25, 50 feet, whatever the requirement was saved, they probably wouldn't have an issue with self-storage there. So That's why I would say, why should the village restrict whatever the future may be? Or go through a $1,500 or whatever expense. That's where I'm at.
Other board members, any discussion?
So currently, we're looking to just delete the self-storage units as a special use.
Delete the self, yes, a special use and delete them from the definitions. I'm trying to pull up the minutes from last week to see what the, who moved and seconded that initial motion.
I did.
Motion to accept. So it was moved by trustee Pinelli and seconded by trustee Schatzberger. You guys are not held to that as a vote. We've been noted in here for the purposes of opening the floor for discussion, but the motion does stand. That was originally tabled. Is there any further comments, questions, or discussion from the board? Hearing none. The motion is to approve the Planning and Zoning Commission's recommendation from the 9/8/25 PZC public hearing. I have to reread it, everybody. To amend the provisions governing the B2 Village Business District to delete self-service storage units as a special use currently included in section 8513C of the Village Code, together with deleting from section 815 of the Village Code a definition of the term self-service storage units. And this was moved by trustee Pinelli, seconded by trustee Schatzberger, and it sounds like we're at the end of discussion, so I will call for a roll call vote, please.
Trustee McGuire.
Aye.
Trustee Hawk.
Aye.
Trustee Thomas.
Aye.
Trustee Diatley.
No.
Trustee Pinelli.
No.
Trustee Schatzberger.
No.
We're gonna tie 3-3. All right, we're at a tie, 3 votes in favor, 3 votes against. The tie vote goes to me. Thanks, guys. This was my motion. Originally, I brought it before the PCC Commission, and I'm gonna vote aye in favor of deleting. So that's 4 affirmative, 3 against. Motion passes. The terms self-service storage units will be deleted as special use, as permitted special uses from our ordinance and deleted from the definition. Right. Moving then on to new business. A, we have discussion and motion to set the village trick-or-treating hours. Do I have a motion from the board?
I'll move. Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by trustee Schatzberger. Comments, questions, discussion for setting the village trick-or-treating hours.
Open to
As I-
discuss.
Yeah, openness, because I think I'm the only one here with trick or treating age kids. I like the hours last year. We went 1 hour later. Unfortunately, last year it rained or snowed or something. I don't remember.
Snow.
So, yeah, there was a reason why I mean, there wasn't a lot of trick or treaters last year because we had some weather. But I mean, I didn't really have any complaints about it last year, so I still urge
No.
a little bit later. Yeah.
What are the hours?
I'm
I think
looking.
we went till 8 last
Yeah,
year.
it
It was 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Yeah.
We did not have any trick or treaters from 6:30 till 8. I mean, in. You can keep them till 8, but.
Yeah.
I don't
Especially
see any.
with it being a
trick-or-treaters.
Friday,
Oh, yeah.
Friday this year.
That's a good point, Rhonda.
Another added wrinkle there.
Now, we don't have people till 8.
I had the most trick or treaters I've ever had last year, 17.
Wow. I think we had
It never,
7 or
you know what, it never used to be like that. I think if we become a little more trick or treat friendly and it's on a Friday, I think it might have a little bit different.
I've noticed a lot more people have great decorations out, and we've been getting some younger families around, so please keep spreading the word. I'd like to work on an idea of a map, like offering people like, hey, these are some houses that want trick-or-treaters and have great
Or
decorations.
like, yeah, promote it more in like Surrey Ridge and where the houses are closer together and up in Saddle Club area where the houses are closer together. I think the problem is down here, the houses are acres apart, so it's
But that was never a problem.
We can give them.
No, it wasn't when we were little.
We always used to pile in the minivan and just hop out.
Yeah.
I always had to look it, but yeah.
Yeah, we had roads and cars came from West Dundee, cars came from Tartans, cars, there were
Yeah.
kids being dropped off. I don't, I'm not quite sure.
We'll keep building it up. So build up the excitement with our neighboring villages. We said 3 to 8. High school doesn't even get home until about 4.
Middle school doesn't get home until after 4:30.
Okay. All right, the motion or the discussion is to set the times from 3 to 8. Any further discussion, folks? All right, motion to set the trick or treating hours from 3 to 8 on Friday, October 31st. All those in favor say aye.
I,
All opposed? All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Tell your friends. I also learned that you can put a blue pumpkin out on your front porch. And that designates that you have candies that, or like, suffer peanut
Autism.
allergies, autism
Yeah,
and something
yeah,
else, so. Just a heads up. All right, item B, discussion and motion to extend the mobile food truck licensing ordinance to allow applications up to and including December 31st, 2025.
I'll move. Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Schatzberger. Any comments, questions, discussion?
We had any public safety issues?
None.
No, no issues at all. With the food truck, whether it was at the park or on 72,
Okay.
nothing at all.
I would just add that with the success he's had already, it's exciting to see that, Duke's Barbecue kind of started out under those same circumstances and look where he is
Oh,
today.
really?
Yes.
So if he was to model himself, business plan wise, he probably has already down that path, I'm sure. But it could grow into something nice.
When I visited them this past Friday, they had somebody come in right around the beginning of opening that wanted like 6 of one thing, 6 of another, 4 of something, 4 of another. Somebody came in asking for 7. They sold out by 2:30. So yeah, I
He's
just.
getting more equipment there. You can tell.
I couldn't be happier for them. And yet, so they had people requesting for upcoming holidays and weekends. We had originally talked about limiting it just through the end of Halloween, but all of the licensing for them ends the end of the year anyways. It's the end of our calendar year. Seemed like a nice end point. And also he did say when it gets cold out, they can't actually cook and utilize out of the truck. They can use the smokers. But when it's colder, it'll just be more for pickup, so it won't be as much cooking on some smoke.
What's he gonna do January through April 1st?
Well, he can do that in his smoker, and actually, because it'd be out of the smoker and not out of the food truck, that would just be catering. So we'd have to.
Do we need to reapprove that?
It's different at the moment. We'd have to figure that out. So what I'd like to do is let's use this pilot program, extend it for, not just for them, but for anybody. And then we need to come up with the actual ordinance and what we want to do more permanently moving forward come the new year.
Gotcha.
All right, any further discussion? And I said it was McGuire and Schatzberger. All right, hearing none, roll call vote. Oh, the discussion and motion to extend mobile food truck licensing ordinance to allow applications up to and including December 31st, 2025. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Hawk,
Aye.
trustee Schatzberger,
Aye.
trustee Thomas,
Aye.
trustee McGuire,
Aye.
trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Cannelli.
Aye.
All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Thank you. Item C, discussion and motion to approve Shop with a Cop donation request. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Diatley. Chief, would you like to speak to Shop with a Cop?
I've participated in it.
What are you doing?
I've been here 4 years. I've ran out of the 4 years. I've participated in it. My wife hasn't joined me. I can tell you it's one of the most rewarding things that you can do as a police officer. The families genuinely appreciate it. Seeing the older siblings, shopping and making sure that they keep a certain amount of money aside for their younger siblings that aren't there for whatever reason. It's a tremendous opportunity for our officers. I encourage as many of our officers to get involved as possible. Did 138, I think it was 138 families last year. Each family's given 100, and $50. To shop, and then also, money to Fresh Market that they can go shopping, so.
And they get a coat and gloves and boots if they need them too, and then the kids just get some money just to go shop.
Where
Which,
where is it done here?
The actual shopping is at the Walmart in Carpentersville. We meet at the Bible church is where we meet for breakfast, and we sit down with the family, and that's where you kind of meet the family that you're gonna go shopping with. But yeah, it's not a healthy breakfast. But the day is, it's awesome. Like I said, it's one of the most rewarding things you can do in law enforcement, so.
Eugene, have we done donations in the past with this?
We have not done donations in the past. We don't really have it in the budget, but we can find somebody.
Okay. I think to find some.
Yeah.
I think we'd all like to, so I'll leave that to a vote for the board. The vote is motion to approve Shop with a Cop donation request that Administrator Van will find money in the couch cushions. We'll do something.
Is that a limit or?
I was gonna say, yeah, what do we need? That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
How did you want to proceed with this?
Well, give me a dollar amount and we'll figure it out.
Okay, how about we come back at the next meeting on this then? We'll see, get that squared away. So we have a dollar amount to set? Okay. All right,
Is it, can I ask a
Yeah,
quick question? Is it possible to have, this is what we used to do at work, we would adopt families or whatever, and we'd go out and just buy stuff and bring it in. Could we do that too? Like, is that possible where they can, I know that they're shopping with you, but.
So they run this program in the way that they run it from donations and that, we had a family last year. That I got notified by by one of the administrators at school that the kids didn't have any jackets and clothing, and I sent something out and I ended up with 4 boxes of clothes for that family that we were able to give them. So we do things like that anyway.
Okay.
But this particular program, they do it through donations, and then, like I said, Walmart supports it, and the Fresh Market supports it, so. Now, there's nothing to stop us from doing something on our own separately, obviously, but this is through, through Dundee Township.
So if people watching or in the room wanted to donate, how do they do that?
They could actually coordinate that through me,
Okay,
and I would make sure that the donations get over there. The biggest thing is making sure that we get families referred. There's a process that families get referred through the schools. So I always reach out to the school to make sure to Sleepy Hollow Elementary to make sure that they're referring families, so that we can get them into the program. And there's a whole vetting process that we go through. Absolutely.
Yeah, so through the PTC, we worked with the guidance counselor at Sleepy Hollow Elementary. And we have, I think, 9 families last year, and it had anywhere from 1 to 3 children within school age that we bought for. And it would be like, sometimes they want something, they need clothes, shoes, snow boots, snow jackets and things like that. So when you reached out to us last year, we got you all set. And we call it holiday giving. And if you can either reach out to the chief or myself, and I can help get in contact with sign up and yes, those things from.
When do you need the money by?
I'd have to look and see when their deadline is. Generally, everything is done and set in early November. Because that's when they start, we have to go through and we evaluate all the applications, and they picked 130, and I think we went through 175 applications last year. So.
You want to give me a estimated dollar amount to be looking for?
Or I was gonna say we could do a motion to table to the 20th and then we come back, we just take a look at the finances and come back to the board. Can I get a motion from the board to table this until October 20th?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Schatzberger. All those in favor?
I
Motion, all those opposed? All in favor, no opposition, motion passed. We will table this discussion until the October 20th meeting, and we'll have a dollar amount for that and have that squared away. Thank you. And last item of the evening is discussion and motion to approve the purchase of a Billy Goat vacuum hose and impeller for Public Works. As it was in the packet, it's $4,460 after a $1,000 discount. And it is part of the allotted budget for Public Works. Do you have a motion?
I'll move.
Second,
Moved by McGuire, second by, was that Kennelly?
yes.
Seconded by Kennelly. Comments, questions, discussion?
Question, what exactly is the Billy Goat vacuum hose and impeller used for? What will they
It's gonna
do?
be sucking up big piles of leaves. That'll go in the back of the F-450.
Okay,
You know, the tube that you see some landscapers have. You know, we're not gonna do it probably in the village, obviously, but, and I'm speaking for Kyle, so I apologize. Where they rake all their leaves to the street, and they come along, so it's a much smaller version of that.
okay,
But, you know, for our parks and whatnot. I think that's what Kyle's intentions are.
What's the impeller?
It grinds them up,
Okay.
makes them smaller, so you have greater density and less volume.
Interesting. From,
So it can be used on the culverts, especially Sleepy Hollow Road where we have those
Yep.
culverts.
Yep.
Is it crane and timber where those culverts have been, as well as culverts on easements where debris piles up.
oh.
And then it can be easily, rather than two men and a rake and a shovel and
Yeah.
traffic control, it can easily be sucked up and disposed of.
Okay, that makes me actually feel a lot better, because I was thinking, I mean, environmental standpoint, I'm a fan of the leaves, and I wasn't sure if that would be something our environmental trustee would be bringing up at some point, but specifically for roads, culverts, clearing of the pathways, that makes a lot more sense.
And the
Then we
parks.
can discuss other stuff.
Last year they bought that blower.
Yeah.
Now this is just the next extension of the equipment he needs to really complete it now.
Any other comments, questions, discussion? Hearing none, hearing none, we're gonna have a motion to approve the purchase of a Billy Goat vacuum hose and impeller for Public Works for the purpose of leaves at $4,460, which is already in the budget. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Diatley,
Aye.
trustee Schatzberger,
aye,
trustee Thomas.
Aye.
Trustee Hawk,
Aye.
trustee Kennelly,
Aye.
trustee McGuire.
Aye.
All in favor, no opposed, motion passes. Thank you. All right, that's the last item on the agenda. We got through a lot in a pretty fast amount of time. Motion to adjourn. Have a second?
Second.
Moved by McGuire, seconded by Diatley, motion to adjourn. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All in favor, no opposition, motion passes. The meeting adjourned at 8:42. Thank you, everybody.
And put it on.
Thank you.